Welcome back. Me to my own podcast. It's been a while. I think the last time I recorded was over 2 months ago at this point. I think probably more like 3 months. I think the last time I put something out was September. Wow, that was a long time. It's kind of sad, I know, but we'll get to why that happened. That's part of today. But first, before anything, we're gonna start with a little game of spot the differences. So, the first one is obvious. You are more than likely not listening to this on YouTube anymore. If you are, you're an OG. I hope you enjoyed the first 2 episodes of my podcast, and welcome back to what I am calling episode 1A, because we'll get to that. We'll get to that. But you may also be listening on Spotify, and there's your first difference. I finally figured out the distribution on my podcast app, which is great because I didn't want to do all that on my own. So it's amazing that I found the app to be able to do that for me because, I'm not smart enough to do all that distribution on my own. It's some difficult stuff. So yes, my podcast has been pushed out to Spotify. Sorry, I can't really talk. It's okay. But it's been pushed out to Spotify now, which is great. I think Apple Podcasts too. I'm not really sure. I guess I'll find out with you. I guess we'll find out together. Isn't that fun? Next off, I changed my cover art. There's your second difference. I liked the other one, but I spent an entire morning on this new look, and I actually really like the new vibe. I think it's a lot better because I looked at the old one and I was looking to restart everything, and I realized that I have had quite the mental and emotional and physical improvement since the day I started this whole podcast thing, so I figured I should represent that a little bit better with a fresh photo and a fresh new vibe and some new colors and some new... It's pretty fancy. I'm really happy with how it turned out. I worked pretty hard on it, so I'm quite proud of it, not gonna lie. And then last but not least, you most likely didn't notice this one. You sense the sarcasm in my voice, which is great because there's actual audio quality where you can sense sarcasm in my voice now. But you can actually hear me way clearer now. It's kind of a funny story. Between the last time I... Was this between the last time that I... Yeah, it was. Between the last time that I recorded an episode for my podcast and now I got a new phone. And I found out that the built-in microphone on my new phone was actually better quality than the $40 microphone that I bought that was made for podcasts. So it's kind of embarrassing for my microphone, but you know what? It's fine because let me tell you, this makes audio editing literally so much better. It's actually kind of crazy. So I'm really, really excited about everything. I'm excited about my new platforms, my new look, and then the fact that I won't have nearly as many audio issues because I don't have to spend as much time getting these out, which is fantastic. And now we have arrived at the question that everyone has been wondering. Where the heck have I been? And the answer to that question is complicated because I gotta be honest here. I'm not even 100% sure. Last time I recorded, we were 2 weeks into school, and now we are on our 13th week of school, so it's been quite a while. But school is the first of my many stressors. We started with our initial schedule, so our initial schedule split the alphabet by days, so my last name starts with a B. I'm not going to say it because that would be doxing, but most of you who are listening already know me, so you already know what my last name is. So this is just awkward, I guess. What am I even talking about? Right, sorry, I get off track really easily. The initial school schedule. My last name starts with a B, so I went on Mondays and Wednesdays, and every other Friday was what it was. So then they figured out real fast that with all of the Monday holidays and stuff, there were a couple weeks of school where I had 1 day of school for the entire week. So they figured out pretty fast that that wasn't really working. So they changed to this hybrid schedule that they're calling it. So I'm still going Mondays and Wednesdays, but now Fridays are half days at home. So it was a confusing switch for sure, but it definitely was better. I actually really, really like the hybrid schedule. We'll talk about that later. My course load has been pretty difficult this year, though. I am in 3 AP classes currently, as well as 2 bands, and I've got a whole bunch of stuff going on there. I'm also in pre-calc. Before I sat down to record this, I was doing some pre-calc, and we're doing trig right now, and trig makes me angry, like livid. Not many things make me angry, but trig makes me angry, so pre-calc is not good. So the changes between like all of these different schedules was pretty tough on my course load, and I could feel those growing pains a lot. Also recently, I am planning to switch what I was originally banking on majoring in for college, because I realized that my plan to major in music wasn't really sitting well with me. I know, I want to keep music in my life and everything, and it's gonna be a part of my life for sure. But it's not. I was feeling too like claustrophobic and trapped in whatever this plan was, and I've changed to hopefully neuroscience at this point, which is like a world of difference, but it's okay. And probably like a minor in music or something. I'm not really sure yet, but I feel like, here's how I'm explaining it to people. I liked music too much to major in it because, not liked, like past tense, I still love music, okay? I'm making it worse, but, oh no, I'm just digging myself into a very deep hole right now. I still like music. There we go. We're just gonna clarify it right there, but I like it too much to major in it because people say, like, if you like what you do, you don't work a day in your life, but it's like, yeah, but I also don't want to, like, turn music into my job, because when I started thinking about it like that, it just kind of, like, got not fun, and that's not fun. Wow, Hannah, you're so good with words. I know, right? No. That change was difficult, though, because I initially was getting, like, no support. Well, here's how I should put this. I would get support some days, but not others, which just made it confusing, because it's like, you said one thing, but did you mean something else? Because now you're saying another thing, and it's just, there's a lot of things going on here, and I don't know which one to listen to. There were a lot of scary health things going on during all this time too. The week after Halloween, we had like 100 cases at my school in like a week, which was nuts. It was kind of the worst. Cases being of the COVID, as we call it in my family. If you didn't know, we're in a pandemic. This is news to me. No, I'm just kidding. I just thought it was flu season. No, I'm kidding. It's a joke. There was also a COVID case at my work that was scary as heck, but I realized I hadn't like been with her for like a week and a half, so it turned out fine. I didn't have to get like tested or anything, and I didn't have it. I didn't get it, but like it's been weird. And then also one of my cousins from a different state got COVID, and another one of my family members got COVID as well, so it was just, like, hard because I didn't know how their cases would go, and it was just, like, a weird feeling to, like, sit and wait and, like, awkwardly text them and be like, how are you doing? Are you okay? Like, what's going on? Is everything good? So that was so tough because, like, yeah, but just, it's fine. It's okay now. They're all okay now. Everything's good. Like, everything's fine. The moral of today's story is, like, a bunch of stuff went weird, but it's fine now. So we're getting there. But so school announced then that we were going fully remote because of all these cases. We were going fully remote after our Thanksgiving break. Not only that, though, they switched us to a block schedule, which is just half of our classes every single day and an hour and a half long of classes, which just terrible and scared me because of my ADD. I'm like, I'm going to check out at the 40-minute mark, look at the clock, and realize we still have 50 minutes, and what the heck am I going to do? I only have so many fidget spinners and fidget cubes and things to squish. I have 2 squishy brains on my desk. They're really fun. One is pink and one is yellow, and I have no idea where I got them, but I love them. Anyways, so I finally, like, kind of came to term with that switch and got ready to, like, actually have a break over Thanksgiving. But then someone very close to me went to the hospital. I'm keeping their identification? What's wrong with me? Anyways, geez, I'm keeping their identity a secret just for like privacy or whatever. Most of you probably know who this person in my life was, but just moving on. So they went to the hospital and I lost my mind, quite literally though, because I could not function properly. There was one night that I got 2 hours of sleep, and I ugly cried in like 3 different public places throughout the week. It was just rough. I did my best, but holy cracker, was that hard. And yes, I said cracker. I got that clean content, bro. But this person is fine and they're recovering really well, and I got my brain back, which is great. And we're back on the hybrid schedule, so I guess all of the frick yous that life handed me in the past 2-3 weeks kind of resolved themselves. It took time, but yeah, so we're good. That's where I've been. So so I know that was quite a bit in a short time. So here's some good things that happened while I was gone. I have done a lot of good things, like in my own personal life, I guess you could say. Like, I established my own workout routine. I literally, let me tell you, I shock myself every time I look in the mirror and I see that I actually have arm muscles now. It's a little freaky because I'm not used to that, but it shows that I'm making progress, which is a super cool thing. I'm feeling good about that. I started adjusting some other things along those lines, and I'm just doing well in that realm of things. I now have my own car, technically, which is fantastic news. It's a technicality because my parents own it, but everyone else in my family now has their own car, so I am first in line for this other car, which is nice. I bought a beret. Only the important things. I was out Christmas shopping and I decided that, I need a beret. So I got a beret, which is cool. What else? Yes, Christmas came early and I finally got a bike that fits me, and shoot dang is it fancy, as the French would say, Mamma Mia. But that's very exciting. I'm waiting for a super nice day coming up soon that I can go for a bike ride. Don't know how many of those there'll be, seeing as it's December, but it's gonna be okay. Work is going well. Like I said, I cannot talk, I promise you. Work is going well. I have good savings plans and stuff for college that I recently put into place, and I switched banks, and I'm feeling really, really good about things right now, just across the board. So there's been a lot of ick, but there's also been a lot of good. So you gotta count your blessings, you know what I'm saying? So I'm kind of figuring things out, which is very fun. College is, however, college is just a bear. I probably will spend an entire episode talking about college. That seems relevant and interesting. I'm gonna write that down. But colleges are bombarding me with emails and mail, and it's just, let me tell you, so we got this one standardized test score released the other day, and I kid you not, I got 13. Was it 13? No, that was the other day. I got maybe 16 or 17 emails from new colleges that I had never heard from, and 5 things in the mail too. It was absolutely nuts. One of them was a 3-page letter from Harvard. I'm pretty sure it was a scam. I'm still looking into that, but I don't know. But geez, college stuff is overwhelming by that way of things, the emails in the mail. It's so much. Colleges are getting desperate. I actually got a college email the other day that literally the first line of it was, "Hannah, are you an intellectual?" That was how it started. And I was like, are you kidding me? That's, oh my gosh. They're so desperate, which is fantastic. But it's entertaining. It's annoying and it's a lot, but it's entertaining. I'm starting SAT and ACT prep, which is cool, I guess, if you think standardized testing is cool, which maybe you do, not judging at all. But really, really, really good news. My 1 year anniversary is coming up. Oh, let's get some quick applause in here. Yes, good. No, it's absolutely just crazy and wonderful to know that just despite the infinite challenges that this year has presented me with and presented everyone with, I got to spend every single day of it alongside just literally my favorite person in the entire world. He gives me endless support and endless love. He gives me laughs when I need them, but he also listens to me and takes me seriously when I need that too. So it's just the perfect balance, the ratios, I'm telling you. He's the best human being on this planet, and I'm so eternally grateful for him every single day. It's just fantastic. So there is a lot of good going on, so don't worry too much. This episode was, it was technically supposed to be about productivity and how COVID and everything affected that. But I was not productive in getting it out or working on it at all, which wasn't great because I needed to do research for this particular one because it wasn't just reading things off Reddit. It was actually kind of science-ish. Not really. I mean, well, kind of borderline. I wasn't productive in getting my episode about productivity out. We'll just say I was doing my research. Yeah. So we're going to ease back into the podcast grind with some Q&A that I got from some people. So this is going to be fun. I didn't get a bunch, but I also didn't get only 3, so I might end up doing some random stupid stuff too, but I mean, we'll sure see. So the first question we have here says, how are you? I already explained that. but currently in this moment, I'm a little tired. I'm happy to be recording again, which is great. School is a lot, but we're hanging in there. There's my official answer. We're hanging in there. All right. Next, someone said, "How do you protect yourself from furries?" I feel like protection from furries is actually a very simple concept. Listen, have you ever heard the phrase that's if you can't beat them, join them, right? So I'm not saying become a furry, but if you feel threatened, join them. You have to speak their language, and by that I mean you have to hiss at them. If you feel threatened by a furry, you just have to for 1 second, you just have to stoop down to that level. I mean, I'm not trying to dig at furries though. If you're a furry, that's cool. I respect you as a human being. I'm just putting it out there that I don't understand the community at all. If you're having fun, great. I'm not going to get in your way, but I've met some scary furries. There's scary other people too though, so I shouldn't really be judgmental, but I've met some people who are just so I had a conversation with my boyfriend the other day about people hissing at other people, and it's just weird. Okay, if I had a nickel for every time a human being hissed at me, I would have 3 nickels. Yes, which it isn't money. But it's kind of weird that it happened 3 times. I mean, it's just strange. So there's your protection from furries. Just hiss, and then if that doesn't work, just run. So, yeah. But only if you feel threatened. If they're trying to be your friend, I mean, go for it. They're a person. Why not, All right, next we have, how do you think that students can adjust for the holidays? This is quite vague. I don't know what you mean by adjust, so I'm sorry, but I'm assuming this means adjusting into and out of breaks with the weird schedule changes that our school just loves to do. I'd say just to try and be flexible. Try your best to be flexible. One thing I've learned this year, especially, is that I shouldn't ever expect things to be the same every day that I wake up. So every single day I try to wake up in the mindset of expecting change. So that way, if change does happen, then I'm prepared. And if it doesn't, then I'm relieved. But it's better to be prepared for something. I'm using a lot of stereotypical phrases, or not stereotypical phrases, but mantras today. So what is it? The wording is escaping me. Right, it's better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it, right? So you have that expectation for change just in case you need it, but then if you don't, then you're good. So, but okay, it's way easier said than done. Learning to be flexible to change is so difficult, and it takes lots of time and practice, like any skill, but I've learned to kind of like drop the expectation that things will stay consistent, because this year has taught me that above all, consistency is very, very rare. Like, there's definitely consistency in a lot, but I feel like consistency just as a rule is quite rare, so you don't expect it. Just expect change. That's a lot of what this year has taught us. All right. Next question. Oh, yeah, this one. This one makes me a little bit concerned for the person who submitted it. They said, what is your favorite flavor of crayon/marker? So, here's the thing that's really throwing me off about this one is the word choice, like the verbiage. I'm concerned with the choice of the word flavor. Like, I feel like that shouldn't be applicable in this situation, you know? Like, I don't condone eating crayons and markers. I mean, like, if you're two, I get it, because, like, they look good, especially, like, the scented ones. Oh my gosh, like, the scented markers. I had a bunch of scented markers when I was little, and trust me, if those things were edible, wow, that would be, like, my every meal. They smell so good, so, like, a lot of the times, like, children, especially when they're developing, they're just this psychology moment. They're going to be like, we haven't even done our developmental unit though, so I don't really know, but children like to associate things, you know, they learn a lot with association and imitation. And if they think like mom's food smells good and it tastes good, then this marker smells good, so it must also taste good, you know. I mean, well, I guess to each their own. Like, if you are like high school, middle school age and you're eating markers and crayons regularly, I guess I can't really judge you. I did have a close friend in middle school who would regularly eat Post-it notes and markers because he thought they were good snacks. I don't know. Like, he'd be carrying around a pad of Post-its and you'd ask him about his day and he's just like eating away. Like, would actually chew and swallow the Post-it notes. And it's like, dude, what are you doing? And I remember one day we were working on a project and he colored on his tongue with a marker to see how it would taste. And he said it tasted really good, but then the next day he wasn't there. So I don't know. I don't think that's healthy though. So I just say, like, I don't really condone eating crayons or markers, but if crayons or markers were edible, I feel like the blue ones would taste really good, you know? But not like there's a really stupid Crayola color name about blue. It's like something about corn, and it's just really dumb. And I remember hating it so much when I was little. So I think that one would be like a bad blue, but like your dark blues and your neon blues, those would taste so good. Like, probably like blue raspberry. This is weird, okay? But, you know, I do wonder how the Post-it note kid is doing. I mean, that couldn't have done his digestive system any favors, but, you know, I hope he's doing good, you know? Well, maybe he's listening to this. I don't know. I haven't talked to him in a long time. Okay. Jeez, that one was interesting. All right, next one is not a question. It's absolutely ludicrous. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. It says, talk about musicals. So, do you want this episode to be like 4 hours long? Because we could definitely be dipping our toe in that territory if I let too loose on this question. It's not a question, but I mean, all right. I will cover a couple of my favorites. Here we go. Hamilton is incredible. It's so good. Just Lin-Manuel Miranda is literally a genius. Like, there's a lot of geniuses out there, but they're all like programmers and like stuff like that. But just like, geez, Lin has this way of like storytelling, and musically too. Oh my gosh, musically, he takes all of like the different themes and like weaves them throughout the show, and just everything connects to each other. And the storytelling, like I said, is just absolutely insane. And like, man, and all the nuances of the show, like there's like this one nuance that's actually also a musical theme. I think it's, yeah, so in the song The Schuyler Sisters, all of my Hamilton fans out here already know this piece of lore, but in The Schuyler Sisters, they say Angelica, Peggy, and Eliza. I'm not going to sing it. Angelica, Eliza, and Peggy. Sorry, I got it out of order. And the Schuyler Sisters, actually, Peggy, historically, like in history, she died early. I don't remember how she died, but she died early, right? So in the second song, I believe, of Act 2, Take a Break, when Angelica comes back home, they sing each other's names to the tune of the Schuyler Sisters. So like Angelica, Eliza, and then there's the little space of time where Lynn wrote in like 3 blank beats to where it would have been Aunt Peggy, like where she would have said Aunt Peggy. And that was his little nod to the fact that she had died, because there was no dialogue or anything during that time. And then Hamilton just filled in the awkwardness by saying the Schuyler Sisters afterwards. So I know that was a really confusing explanation, but it's just like things like that, Like there's so many little details that just make that musical incredible. And also it made me sob, like ugly cry. Like I've talked about ugly crying twice in this podcast now. I think this is the first and last episode that will happen in, I believe. We'll see. But geez, Hamilton made me cry like 6 times when I saw it live. It was just like when the lights went up and I looked back at my mom after the show, I was just a mess. It was not great. Speaking of things that make me sob, Les Mis. Les Mis is also amazing. Just the talent of all of those singers. The movie, I love Hugh Jackman. Oh my goodness. And Helena Bonham Carter, and just, everyone in that musical is just amazing, and it's so good. Les Mis is another one that's really good at like storytelling and little details like that, Moving on to more modern musicals, Dear Evan Hansen is fantastic. First off, my boyfriend's name is Evan, so anything that has the name Evan in it is immediate. No, I'm just kidding. But Evan's a good name. Evan's a very good name. I like that name. But Dear Evan Hansen is a great musical as well. It's honestly like there's too many things nowadays. We're gonna get serious here for a second. That's new. There's too many things nowadays, like that show 13 Reasons Why. There's too many things that like glorify teen suicide, but Dear Evan Hansen doesn't do that. It shows you how real it is and how many people it affects, and it's deals with some heavy stuff, but it's actually really funny as well. And man, it's just that it's a beautiful story too. I really enjoy it, and amazing music, obviously. And there's another modern musical that I don't think too many people know about it unless you're like an uber theater geek, but it's called Be More Chill. And my best friend Amy actually got me into this one, I think in like middle school, and it's nuts. Like it's absolutely insane. It's incredible to see people like writing musicals and using all of this creative liberty and freedom and stuff to like tell these absolutely off the wall stories. Like Be More Chill is about this guy who like, I can't remember exactly what the premise is. I think he either wants to like fit in with the cool kids or get rid of his anxiety or like get the date with the girl or something, and he like gets sold this like robotic pill or something that he takes, and it like becomes an altered conscious, and it ends up being like using him as a vessel to like try and take over the world. It's insane. It's like a sci-fi musical, and it's so nerdy and dorky and fantastic. You know that honestly what that sounded like? That sounded a lot like the plot of season 2 of Stranger Things. Like a lot. Kind of, actually not that much now that I think about it. That's fine. That's okay. A lot of people ask me what my favorite musical is, right? And I think I finally have an answer, because normally I would just say, no, I don't know, there's too many to choose from, but now I think I have an answer. And it is Legally Blonde. Legally Blonde was going to be our school musical in not the fall. It seems like the fall, like last fall is what it feels like, like fall 2019 is how far away that last spring feels like. But that was supposed to be our spring musical, right? And I was in the pit orchestra, and I fell in love with it. I fell in love with just the story. Legally Blonde has the best character arcs. It is the feel-good musical of the century. Like, you've got the really, really, really dumb boyfriend, and then she like moves on to the sweet supportive boyfriend, and like the leading lady realizes her self-worth without changing who she is as a person, and like the one character Vivian moves from like being the really, really snobby mean girl to being supportive and a friend, and the abuser gets what he deserves, and like the hairstylist gets the guy and like gets to live happily ever after and gets her dog back, and like it's just the perfect musical, and I love it so much. Wow, what a good musical. If you guys haven't, there's an MTV recording of Legally Blonde on YouTube. Fantastic. It's so good. It's like Mean Girls vibes, kind of. So like if you're a dude, you might not enjoy some of the like the topics or the subjects or whatever, or might not be able to like relate to it as much. But man, oh man, is it fantastic, and I highly suggest it to everyone, regardless of if you're a dude or a chick. All right. Next question. What was the most helpful thing you did that got you into a better place mentally? Fantastic question. I spent time with myself. See, so like my secret, like I have a secret, like I don't know what the secret is. Ask Victoria. But I got to know myself better, and I got to know the way that I think and operate and learn and love and emote and feel, and emote and feel are the same thing. What am I doing? There's just a lot of things that I needed to learn about myself. And like I spent this time actively being with myself instead of just like existing, like how we're all just kind of coasting, going on autopilot. I spent it like, it felt a lot more like, okay, to compare it, it felt a lot more like a conscious effort that like would go towards a friendship or a relationship. But it was really weird because it was just me, But I mean, there are weird loud sounds happening outside my window. I hope you can't hear that. You might be able to, though. We'll see. We're just going to wait for it to stop. I live near a busy road. Hello? Is everyone okay? Okay, good. It went away. Sorry. No, so spending time with yourself. Spending time with yourself and giving it the same effort that feels like a friendship, but like it's just you, yourself, and you. It felt really weird and it was difficult, but it helped a lot. And the way that this manifested, it was meditating, finding music that I liked, talking to myself. Dude, it makes you sound insane. So only do it when you're alone. But boy, oh boy, is it therapeutic and telling of lots of things. So like, you just need to talk to yourself and give yourself pep talks and stuff. And like, I don't know, man, like it helped me a lot. I sound insane, I know, but it helped me a lot. And then like self-expression as well was a lot of the me time that I would spend, so like my main modes of that are music. I play the flute, the oboe, the English horn, the piano, the piccolo, the ukulele, the guitar. I sing a little bit, not a little bit. I've been singing for 8 years, but I don't do it actively anymore. I also love conducting and like listening to music and stuff too, but like the expression part of it was like playing music, and being music. You exist along with music. I'll probably have an episode about music too. I'm getting all sorts of ideas from myself. Man, I love her being me. Wow. in a self-love way, not a narcissistic way. Other modes of expression include like poetry. I love free verse and journaling, however that looks for you. I did a 1 line a day journal for a little while. I didn't complete it, unfortunately, but I did it for a while. I did a 3 good things about my day journal. I did like a 1 sentence, like quick, short little things. It doesn't have to be super like fancy or anything. I did a bullet journal that only lasted a month. It was too much work. But these really help. And it's just, I don't know, man, like it's a weird friendship that you have to form with yourself. And like I said, it's difficult. And this process took me about 5 years. And it's still something I have to keep up with because you got to like keep giving that effort and time and stuff. But it's made such an incredible difference. Anyone who's known me my whole life or known me for like a few years just knows the absolute strides that I've made in the past few years. And it's crazy, especially in the past, like just this past year. Like it's kind of crazy. So, next question. What is my daily routine? Honestly, it depends on my mood. It depends on how I'm doing mentally and emotionally that day, because sometimes my anxiety likes to play with me and my productivity, and it's going to be like, oh, you wanted to shower this morning. Well, you're not going to do that till tomorrow. So, yeah, we're just going to put that off. And it also depends on like what I have going on throughout the day, because like if it's a holiday, I'm obviously like doing different things than I would on a normal day, but I'm going to give you my usually. So I wake up, I text my boyfriend good morning because he needs a nice text to wake up to. I get my dog because if I don't get my dog, he will sleep all day. And I take him out and I feed him, and then I eat breakfast with my fancy chia seeds and vitamin C supplements, which is great. I wash my face and I brush my teeth and then I get dressed and I do my hair. Sometimes I'm too lazy to do my hair and then it's fine. Then it's either I go to school or I do school at home because COVID time, The whole time I'm listening to music. I'll always have my AirPods in during that whole morning routine. Except for breakfast, I like to keep myself just kind of like open and let myself wake up during breakfast. And then after my usual day with school, I will sometimes work for 3 or 4 hours, and then I'll come home and I'll eat dinner, and I spend part of the evening with family, but I always have me time scheduled into my evening because, like I literally just got done talking about, it is very important. So sometimes this is reading, listening to music, obviously, are we surprised, or working out, or like calling a friend, or sometimes I'll just do mindless nothing, like watching Netflix or YouTube. And then I'll shower and get my pajamas on, my comfies, and I'll wash my face again because you need to do it twice a day, guys. It's very important. I just built that habit over quarantine and my skin has never been better. And then I'll read the Bible a little bit because Jesus, and then I will listen to more music to help me wind down, and then I'll text my boyfriend goodnight because he needs a sweet goodnight text. And like throughout the day, I'll be texting people and whatever else, but that's like the general skeleton of my routine. And if I don't have work or anything after school, I'll usually spend the evening with my boyfriend, and then when I get home later, I just do all the bedtime stuff. But yeah. So that's essentially my day, a day in the life. A lot of my day revolves around music. I have my AirPods in almost always, unless I'm like spending time with a human being, So, man, one time I forgot to bring my AirPods to school, and that was one of the worst days ever. It was so terrible. Oh, goodness. Ugh, flashbacks. Okay. Next question. Why don't bears grow on trees? Because bears are supposed to climb trees and not grow on them. There we go. I wrote a poem about a bear once. If you want to read it, just hit me up. I'll read it for you. But okay. Next question. Does the color purple really exist, and how do you know? To that, I say yes. The color exists, but the word purple was made up by Crayola and is therefore a lie. So the color purple exists, but the word purple technically doesn't. But does anything really exist? I'm just going to let that one sit there. I'm just going to let you think about that one. No, I'm just kidding. I don't really want to get into that. Another episode. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not going to do an episode on existentialism. Thank you, but no. Next, we have something that's also not a question, just like talk about musicals, but it's fine, I guess. This says, when you think about it, through the transitive property, bikes equal trains. And I have to... Why? I have to strongly disagree with that because it's not logical. Bikes are like a full body workout, and they have a much smaller range of speeds than like a train does because trains are like trains, And also, like, train conductors don't have to move as much as a bike rider does, like, in order to drive the train. Like, the conductor has to, like, I don't know, I've never driven a train before. How does one drive a train? If you know how one drives a train, please let me know. That's probably a question for my boyfriend. He probably knows that. I'll ask him later. But, I mean, just no. Bikes are absolutely not trains. I don't know, like, maybe, are you okay? I don't know. We'll see, I guess. All right. Last and final question. And then after my usual day with school, I will sometimes work for 3 or 4 hours, and then I'll come home and I'll eat dinner, and I spend part of the evening with family, but I always have me time scheduled into my evening because, like I literally just got done talking about, it is very important. So sometimes this is reading, listening to music, obviously, are we surprised, or working out, or like calling a friend, or sometimes I'll just do mindless nothing, like watching Netflix or YouTube. And then I'll shower and get my pajamas on, my comfies, and I'll wash my face again because you need to do it twice a day, guys. It's very important. I just built that habit over quarantine and my skin has never been better. And then I'll read the Bible a little bit because Jesus, and then I will listen to more music to help me wind down, and then I'll text my boyfriend goodnight because he needs a sweet goodnight text. And like throughout the day, I'll be texting people and whatever else, but that's like the general skeleton of my routine. And if I don't have work or anything after school, I'll usually spend the evening with my boyfriend, and then when I get home later, I just do all the bedtime stuff. But yeah. So that's essentially my day, a day in the life. A lot of my day revolves around music. I have my AirPods in almost always, unless I'm like spending time with a human being, you know. So, man, one time I forgot to bring my AirPods to school, and that was one of the worst days ever. It was so terrible. Oh, goodness. Ugh, flashbacks. Okay. Next question. Why don't bears grow on trees? Because bears are supposed to climb trees and not grow on them. There we go. I wrote a poem about a bear once. If you want to read it, just hit me up. I'll read it for you. But okay. Next question. Does the color purple really exist, and how do you know? To that, I say yes. The color exists, but the word purple was made up by Crayola and is therefore a lie. So the color purple exists, but the word purple technically doesn't. But, like, does anything really exist? I'm just going to let that one sit there. I'm just going to let you think about that one. No, I'm just kidding. I don't really want to get into that. Another episode. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not going to do an episode on existentialism. Thank you, but no. Next, we have something that's also not a question, just like talk about musicals, but, you know, it's fine, I guess. This says, when you think about it, through the transitive property, bikes equal trains. And I have to... Why? I have to strongly disagree with that because it's not logical. Bikes are like a full body workout, and they have a much smaller range of speeds than like a train does, because trains are like trains, you know? And also, like, train conductors don't have to move as much as a bike rider does, like, in order to drive the train. Like, the conductor has to, like, I don't know, like, I don't know, I've never driven a train before. How does one drive a train? If you know how one drives a train, please let me know. That's probably a question for my boyfriend. He probably knows that. I'll ask him later. But, I mean, just no. Bikes are absolutely not trains. I don't know, like, maybe, are you okay? You know? Like, I don't know. We'll see, I guess. All right. Last and final question. Is being in a relationship worth the time and effort? And y'all, I gotta tell you, yes. 1,000 times yes. I've literally never experienced something that's more worth it. I will definitely do an entirely separate episode on relationships. I know I've like set up like 4 more entirely separate episodes after this, which is fantastic. So when I'm editing, I can listen back to all these and write down my ideas. But yes, I will do an entirely separate episode on relationships. But you know, I wouldn't mind jumping the gun a little bit and get into some of it now, because this is an incredible question. So, as I said, I've been in my relationship for very close to an entire year, which is very exciting, like I mentioned earlier. And this is actually my first relationship ever, which is fantastic that I'm blessed with such an amazing human being. It's just great. But okay, so even though 2020 has kicked us all in the butt, I can safely say that it's been the best year of my life so far. The best one, because I spent it in this incredible relationship. So, like, I can't... My relationship is built on some very, very solid and beautiful foundations: communication, honesty, and quality time. Those 3 things right there, right? So communication is so important, because I have yet to meet a human being that can read minds. It's just a fact of life. We can't know what's going on in someone else's head unless they say something about it. And that's where it ties into honesty, because being real with your partner and telling them how you feel when you feel it may seem scary, but trust me, it's definitely the best thing you can do for your relationship, because having that open communication and having that honesty just increases your bond so much. And the quality time, spending time with my boyfriend over this past year and getting to know every little thing about him has just been the best. I love learning him and his talents and his flaws and his pet peeves and his mannerisms and the funny things he says and his humor and just everything about him, man. I just love him so much. And just all of these things, though, they take effort. They take time and they take effort. But like committing to calling each other and texting each other and seeing each other in person at least once a week, like if possible, like trying to make that happen, that takes effort. And like handling yourself and your own life while also supporting someone else through theirs, takes time and effort, and all of this, like I said, it's time and effort. So a lot of that's effort, but it's equal parts time as well. Time management is just so important in a relationship, right? Because the other person should be a priority to you, like if you truly love them, right? Is it worth it? Like I said, 1,000 times yes. And just here, it's worth it because I love my boyfriend so much. He's just absolutely everything to me, and all I want for him is to be happy, and just seeing him succeed makes me so proud and just feel so much love, and he inspires me to be a better person every single day. And we work together on supporting each other and loving each other no matter what, and it's just so wonderful to have that in another person. I would not trade it for the world, man. It's worth all the time and effort. And so being in love is like finding someone to live your life with, right? So it comes with everything that life comes with. So like not every day is going to be fairies and Disney princesses and all that. Like some days feel like more time and effort than others do. And love is accepting the realities of both people involved and learning to live and subsequently thrive then alongside each other and in each other's company. And it's just a beautiful thing to spend time on and to put effort in. It's so rewarding for both people, especially when you do it right, you know? So yeah, if you're committed to the other person, the time and effort piece should just be a given, really. Like, most days, it doesn't even feel like time and effort, you know, like how school feels like time and effort. It doesn't feel like that at all, because I just love him so much. And I've talked about my boyfriend a lot on this podcast. I hope you don't mind, dear, but, because I know you're definitely listening, but, man, like there can be hard days, but it's like never a burden or an inconvenience, right? It's just always beautiful. And that brings us to our last section, which, as I said near towards the beginning, I said after the Q&A I was gonna like do something stupid or whatever. So listen, I'm a woman of my word. I don't make empty promises. So it is time to officially introduce you to, as a part of my rebrand, to a new segment on the show called, drumroll please. Actually, just like do a drum roll on your own, because I wrote it down somewhere and I just need to find it, because there is, hold on, I got it, it's right here. Yes, okay. New segment of the show is called Hannah Does Something Irrelevant and Unnecessary and Kinda Borderline Stupid Just for Fun and Self-Care Reasons. TM. I trademarked it. No, I'm just kidding. So, you know, I mentioned Stranger Things earlier, so let's go. Please enjoy the sounds of my keyboard, if you can hear that. I'm still not sure how my new mic audio is working, you know, but I mentioned Stranger Things earlier, so I'm going to go to probably BuzzFeed and figure out which Stranger Things character I am, and I'm going to take you guys through the quiz, and we're going to find this out together. Yep, here it is on BuzzFeed. Don't be a mouth breather, take this quiz. Oh, okay, sounds good. All right, so I have to choose an 80s movie. We've got E.T., Terminator, Ghostbusters, Back to the Future, The Goonies, and Indiana Jones and the Raiders of the Lost Ark. So people are probably going to be very upset with me, but I have not seen most of these. I have not seen any of these, actually, except for Indiana Jones, so I'm going to choose Indiana Jones. I feel like I should watch those other ones, though, because I feel like those are, like, groundbreaking cinematography, you know, kind of things, so I should get on that. I'm going to add it to the must-watch list. All right, I have to choose a superpower. We got telekinesis, super strength, flight, super speed, invisibility, and teleportation. I would say teleportation, but honestly, no, because I love driving. I love driving. It's great. Super strength. I already have super strength. No, I'm just kidding. Flight would be cool. Invisibility, I don't know what I would do with that, you know? Like, what would you do with invisibility? Telekinesis, if I pick telekinesis, I've already figured out BuzzFeed's algorithm. If I pick telekinesis, I'm going to get 11. So I don't know if I really want to. Super speed's dumb. I don't want to be Sonic the Hedgehog. So it's between telekinesis and flight, and I gotta say flight, I think. All right, next we've got your friends would describe you as loyal, funny, charismatic, kind, relaxed, or logical. Huh, that's a lot of big words. No, I'm just kidding. I think, probably, I mean, they honestly, it's definitely not relaxed. We'll go that way first. Logical? Sometimes. Funny? Loyal? Yeah. Kind is cool too. I'm kind as well. I don't know. I'm going to say charismatic because that's the closest one to weird. All right. Choose a place to hang out with friends. We got the community pool. Ew. Palace Arcade. That's from the show. If you don't know the show, go watch it. What are you doing? Mike's Basement. Junkyard. The Junkyard? Oh, right. They filmed like 2 scenes there. Why is the Junkyard on here? Anyways, Hawkins Middle School, or the Starcourt Mall. Definitely the Starcourt Mall, because that place is awesome. Evan, we haven't gotten to season 3 yet. I'm watching Stranger Things with my boyfriend, for those who don't know. We haven't gotten to season 3 yet, but the Starcourt Mall is amazing. All right. Choose some 80s slang. We've got female doggin, clean content. We've got tubular, gnarly, and wicked. I like female doggin. I'm not going to say the actual word, obviously, but yeah. Okay, in a crisis, you would be calm, cautious, nervous, strategic, responsible, or brave. Ugh. Definitely not calm. I gotta say strategic, because I feel like I did an escape room once and I dominated that thing, so strategic. Now I must choose something important from the series. We've got the Christmas lights in the alphabet wall, Muse the cat, Barb, justice for Barb, Steve's bat, Eggo waffles, or Dart, the little pollywog guy. Gotta say, Eggo waffles aren't that good, so we're ruling that one out. Barb is cool. Muse is cool. They both deserve justice. Steve's bat, I'm going to rule that one out as well. And I'm going to rule out Dart as well, just because he's kind of cute, but I'm going to say the Christmas lights in the alphabet wall. And I guess I don't know the algorithm, because I got 11. It says, you're a strong person with a powerful presence. People are drawn to you wherever you go. It can take you a while to warm up to people and trust them. True. But when you find people you care about, you'll stop at nothing to protect them. That's true. You have a strong moral code and know how to find joy in the little things. Honestly, that was kind of accurate. BuzzFeed quizzes are usually like make some toast and we'll tell you where you'll live in 20 years. And it's like, what do you mean? But that one was honestly kind of fun and legit. So I enjoyed that. This was fun. You know what? Not just the quiz. This whole episode was really fun. I had a good time with this one. You can tell because it's twice the amount of time that my previous episodes were. It's literally I think we hit an hour. I don't know. I'll find out when I edit. But, yeah, geez, thank you guys so much for listening. Thank you guys so much for sticking around. If you got this far, I love you. But yeah, just waiting 2.5, 3 months for me to put out another one. And I'm so excited about the whole rebrand and my new platform and my new look. And I'm super excited about all these new ideas that I have and all of the time that I will continue to try putting into my schedule, working into my busy life to record and get this out to you guys, because I have so much fun with this and I hope you guys have just as much fun with it as well. Yeah. Feel free to email the podcast with any questions, any topics you would like me to do, or you can contact me directly if you know me. I'm not going to give out any of that, obviously. If you know me, contact me directly. If you don't, or if you want to use the email, please, I set up an entire email account for this podcast. I'd like to use it. It's hardtobehumanpodcast@gmail.com. So it's the word hard, the number 2, the letter B, the word human, and then the word podcast @gmail.com. So thank you guys so much for listening. Much love to every single one of you, and I will see you guys next time.